In Escape from Tarkov, Kaban is one of the many bosses you have to learn to hunt and happens to be my personal favorite to go after. He resides on streets and has a compound which serves as a location for fun and intense PvP engagements. Today, I'll be helping you learn all about the boss, his followers, and how to handle them confidently enough to farm them. Before we get into it, you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/giantboosock or on TikTok under the same name. Kaban can be found on streets located at the Lexos dealership, typically running either a PKM or PKP LMG. In terms of PvE elements, Kaban is one of the easiest bosses in the game since he always spawns in the same general area and his actions, alongside his followers' actions, are fairly predictable. For the same reasons though, the PvP aspect of taking down Kaban can be difficult because you can almost guarantee a handful of players will be showing up with the same plan as you each raid. As for Kaban himself, he doesn't move too fast, but with his gun shooting 54R, he can easily take you down in just a couple shots. He has two primary followers, Gus and Bosmak, which function as mini bosses of sorts. They tend to patrol near his position, but will often chase after you once you start getting aggroed. He also has a handful of regular guards on the ground, as well as sniper guards on top of the dealership buildings. The ground guards are often equipped similar to Gluhar guards, level 4 or higher armor, and some janky AK build with mid to high pen ammo. The guards overhead will often run an SVDS or bolt action. None of the guards have particularly complex AI, and are only threatening due to their quantity rather than their actual individual difficulty. Aside from the high pen ammo and high level armor, the best loot you can expect comes from Gus, Bosmak, or Kaban himself. Each can spawn with a taiga, and Gus and Bosmak also have the potential for a red rebel. Kaban can spawn with a high value Lexos closed section key or any of the lab's key cards. Kaban's compound exists within the Lexos dealership, extending from the dealership building itself to the mechanic shop in the back and all the surrounding lots. The dealership itself is located east of Concordia, south of Czech, and north of the car extract. The primary entrances are to the south, facing the car extract, and to the north, facing Tarbank. There's also the aspect office entrance, which requires a key, with a door facing the cinema. The north entrance has a single mounted machine gun facing it, and the south entrance has another machine gun plus a grenade launcher. The entire compound is surrounded by claymores, preventing the player from getting close to the compound's borders away from the entrances. In order to avoid them, the best practice is to just approach any entrance straight on, avoiding getting close to the edges of the dealership. The dealership is the location of many in-game quests, such as Urban Medicine, Green Corridor, Your Car Needs a Service, and more, so you can expect a good amount of player traffic. As for gear, I'm never too picky with weapon choice, as long as it has an extended mag to handle the crowd of guards. You'll get by with either a reflex sight or a scope, whatever you're confident in taking out both close enemies and overhead snipers with. Of course, opt for high pen ammo if possible, since many of the guards will have high tier armor. An essential component is grenades. I insist on bringing at least 3 to control AI movement. More on that shortly. If you're like me and prefer getting to the dealership before anyone else, you'll also want some sort of endurance stim to pop at the start of the raid, such as an SJ6 or Trimadol. Don't overthink armor too much, just wear whatever you're comfortable with for PvP. If you handle the AI properly, you won't get hit by them a single time. Now let's talk about actual gameplay, starting with pushing into the dealership. As stated before, the 2 primary entrances are to the north by Tarbank and the south facing car extract. I don't prefer one entrance over the other, just pop your stims and start heading to whatever entrance is closest to your spawn. If you spawn super far away and hear grenades going off at the dealership early, it might be worth resetting since another player likely already beat to the boss. If you're heading from Tarbank side, you'll want to hug the sidewalk opposite the dealership from either direction until you're close to Lexos. As you approach, your first goal is to take down any sniper guards which are actively watching you. Any of the others can be ignored until you get inside. Without fully peeking the entrance to the compound, your next action should be a grenade to make the guards move away from the mounted machine gun. The gun is just a few steps in, facing directly at the entrance, so a grenade anywhere in that vicinity should prevent any guard from manning the turret for a moment. Right after throwing, you'll want to immediately push in, cutting left into the shipping container just inside. You should then have just enough time to take a right-hand peek out of the container and begin taking out guards that are still scattering. If you're entering the compound from the opposite side, you must approach from the direction of the cinema, not Concordia. Remember, this entrance is guarded by both a mounted machine gun and a grenade launcher. While the machine gun watches ground level, the grenade launcher is elevated on container and has a clear shot toward the direction of Concordia, which you will not be able to dodge. If you're on the Concordia side, you can reposition to the south through the back alleyway and back up to the small cafe. From here, entering is going to be fairly similar. Take a peek on top of the garage building and take out any sniper guards that are visible, and then approach the gate without yet exposing yourself to the opening. Toss a grenade inside so it lands at the corner of the garage building, and any guards on either turret should reposition momentarily. From here, I usually run into the right just by the aspect building. Guards typically will begin trying to rush back to their turret, making them easy to take out, sometimes one right after the other. Once you take out a few guards, a handful of others, as well as Gus and Bosmak, should begin aimlessly charging at you, making them fairly easy to take out while in motion. Do keep in mind that there may still be some sniper guards overhead, so periodically check for any of their heads peeking out. Once the guards mostly settle down, which should be pretty quickly after you've entered, it's time to find Kaban. He can be located in a few different spots, but almost always resides in the first floor of the dealership itself, or tucked just inside the entrance of the garage. If you haven't heard his voice lines from your initial grenade throws, you can toss another toward either location and see if you hear him shout. He has a fairly distinct voice, so you should be able to hear it amongst all the scavs and guards. Once you've located him, you have two options. If you know exactly where he is, just peek a tight angle and dump your mag into his chest and head. He doesn't move much, so he should drop pretty quick. If you're uncertain of his exact location, you can make a move with the rest of your nades. Tossing one should get him to start moving, opening a brief window where he won't shoot. You'll have to play aggressively and drop him quickly in this moment though, because he very commonly walks and shoots at the same time once he's out of the grenade's range. Keep in mind that during this time as well, you're probably going to be pushed by regular scavs too, so it's important that you make the process as quick as possible. If you can't drop him on the initial peek and you fail to take him out once he's avoided a grenade, this is when he begins to wander. You can either wait for him to lose aggro, which I don't recommend because you're fighting the clock with other players pushing you, or you can peek him in between his gun bursts. He typically tracks you through walls and shoots in a pattern with small breaks in between, so you'll have to pay attention and peek at a moment when he pauses his firing. Once Kaban is down, the first thing I do is hit his pockets and check his melee slot because that's where the best loot resides. You can also collect his abundance of ammo, see if he has a PKP for Gunsmith, or go check Gus and Bossmock's melees. However you choose to loot, next step is getting out of the compound safely. Almost always by this point, you'll have other players pushing in or nearby, and you may have some straggler guards to handle. If you're looking to just get out without conflict, the best option is typically jumping out of the second floor door of the garage. This throws you right into Sparja, where you have plenty of paths to take toward whichever extract you require. Don't miss the jump though, because the area below is riddled with landmines. The whole process in practice should take only a minute or two, and is very much an in and out quick boss fight. Here's a beginning to end gameplay example so you can see it all in action. And that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully this helps build your confidence a bit more pushing Kaban, but just remember, like anything else in this game, it takes a lot of practice. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.